we are back and we have another grant. And this small business grant opportunity, it is for $10,000, but 5 small businesses will walk away with a startup grant from this grantor. And you can use the funds for marketing, which who doesn't need more marketing? Because if they don't know you, they can't buy from you. But then also you can use it for manufacturing and then research and development. Now, this grantor made it very clear that you must be available to attend the panel pitch session. More importantly, if you don't show up, you forfeit your $10,000 small business grant. And this I found interesting because typically it's buried in the rules somewhere, but this grantor had it as one of their FAQs, and it was, is this money taxable? But I already know that you all know that yes, and yes again, this is taxable income. They also mentioned that you will be responsible for paying these taxes, which means that they are going to submit a W-9 to the Uncle Sam, who is going to have his hands out. And I typically will say to set aside 10%. It could be more, it could be less. I don't know. I'm the lawyer, not the accountant, but I want to make sure that your business, one, doesn't fail because of delinquent taxes, but then two, that you prevent yourself from getting future small business grant opportunities or loans because a grantor or a lender will check for delinquent taxes. Now, if you're new to the channel, welcome. I am Ebonie, a licensed attorney out of the state of Missouri, and on this channel, we focus on grants, legal tips, and setting a foundation for your business to get you to generational wealth, because yes, money is good, but I want your money to serve generation after generation after generation. Yes, there is a grant opportunity for you, and it is likely in the small business grant playlist that is on this channel. Check it out. There are no deadline grants in there. There are no business needed grant opportunities in there. And there are global opportunities. So if you're outside of the US, there is potentially a small business grant opportunity for your business. And yes, nonprofits. There's a nonprofit grant playlist on the channel as well. And I do offer the service of writing a grant for you to then submit on your own behalf. However, the goal of this channel is to empower you to be able to write your own successful grant applications and keep money in your pockets. My ebooks, buy one, get one free, will assist you on that journey because there are sample answers in the workbook. There are fill in the blanks. There are quizzes and places where you can find small business grant opportunities. And in the Patreon, if you just want the links, I put cohorts in there. I put articles. I also have started putting scholarships. So if you're trying to get your educational bag, go on over to the Patreon. And my grant list videos will have an array of different grant opportunities. And if you're wondering, how come the last video was talking about New York, but it wasn't talking about my state? You gotta leave a comment. And I look in those comments and I need for you to let me know your city, state, and our industry to possibly see a grant opportunity aligned with your business in the next grant list video. Now, back to this grant. There are a few things that you're going to be judged on. You're going to be judged on innovation, scalability, clarity of vision, and potential impact. Also, this grantor puts in the rules, there will be regular reporting requirements, which says, yes, grants are free money that you do not have to pay back, but there's always a caveat for the grantor to take back the money. And this is one of them with the reporting requirements. So if you end up using these grant funds for anything outside of what you put in your application and or the items that they said you can use it for, marketing, manufacturing, research and development, the grantor can then come against you to get that money back, which of course will put you in a position to have liens and just stuff that I already know you're not going to deal with. So please make sure that you are using the funds for its intended purpose. And with your application, if you decide I actually want to use the money for something else, have that conversation with the grantor, because I am certain if it is aligned with the 3 items that they listed, you would still be able to use the small business grant opportunity for something else. Now, outside of the money, you're going to get mentorship, which you know that I think that mentorship is way more valuable than money, because you skip those teachable moments and you can get somewhere in 2 years instead of 5 years, because you're connected with somebody who has experienced the same journey that you are on. You're also going to get access to community being other entrepreneurs that are similarly situated as yourself, so you all can be a support system for each other as you continue your entrepreneurship journey. And finally, visibility. And visibility to them is marketing across their platforms and their partners. You know what that is? Free marketing. And anytime you can get your face out there so more people can know who you are, what you do, and why you do it, that is going to potentially bring in more resources, i.e. money, to your business. And you cannot have more than 10 employees to be eligible for this startup grant for your small business. You only have to answer 2 questions, but I know that you're going to answer the optional questions as well. The first question, introduce yourself. Tell us about your business. Tell us about your background. Essentially, they want to get a temperature on who you are, what you do, and why you do what you do. I'm going to always recommend that you go to the website, look at their mission, look at why they're doing what they're doing, and find a similarity and pepper that into your answer. Because if why you're doing what you're doing is why the grantor is doing what they're doing, you're going to have a higher probability of walking away with a small business grant opportunity. The next question, what would winning the grant mean to you and your business? Please don't give them a generic answer. Take them on a journey, but be concise. And I recommend that you hone in on that mentorship, because yes, money is going to be important. They know that most people are like, I want the $10,000. They get that. But if you're able to communicate to them how invaluable, one, being in a room with other entrepreneurs so you can get that motivation and you all can support each other, but then also being able to have access to mentors that have already done what you've done, where you essentially get to pick their brains, which that's pretty expensive, because what if it's $1,000 an hour, $200 an hour, to have these conversations with industry experts. Now, the next 2 questions, you don't have to answer them, okay? The next one, I would hope that you answer. It is, how did you hear about this small business grant opportunity? You will put my YouTube channel at Money Time with Ebonie, Dion, EXQ. And then the next question, the grantor says, is there anything else about your business performance that you would like for them to know? Absolutely yes. But please do not repeat anything that you've already said. This is another opportunity to keep you in front of that grantor longer than your competition, who might say there's nothing else or might put NA. And finally, a pitch video, okay? You know your pitch video needs to be concise, but you also know this is going to be your one opportunity to put your personality in front of that grantor. I typically say, make them feel happy, make them feel inspired, because a grantor is going to be more likely to dig in their pockets and select you as the winner of a small business grant opportunity if they're in a good mood and they're feeling inspired by you. They do want your profit and loss statement. They do also want your revenue from 2023 as well as 2024, and then projections for 2025. Okay, that was a lot to take in, but it's not going to be a lot when you get ready to apply for this small business grant opportunity. So leave that comment. Let me know where you're watching from, city, state, and our industry, so I can possibly find a small business grant opportunity that is aligned with your business. Now, with all of that, let's look at this grant. All right, y'all. This $10,000 startup grant for small businesses is sponsored by Maker's Mindset, and this is their Equity Studio grant. I recommend that you go through their entire website because there are several opportunities for entrepreneurs outside of winning the grant. For example, up here, we're on the grant, but if they have an accelerator that you can sign up for, they also have a vault of a plethora of information. They have articles, they have workshops. Also, they have a podcast so you can listen to things about entrepreneurship, and there's a journal where you can read information about an entrepreneur. And I forgot, the accelerator is self-paced. So you can take as long as you want to go through that, and you get lifetime access. But I want us to scroll all the way down to the bottom of this page. And right here, as I say, it's important to always sign up for their mailing list if it is an option. Get insights, expert tips, and exclusive resources delivered straight to your inbox every month. They're likely going to send you other small business grant opportunities. So please, even if you don't sign up for this grant, make sure that you register to be on their email list. Oh, and one other thing, the business must be 51% owned by an individual that identifies as a woman. But remember, there are several other opportunities on their website, as well as making sure you sign up for their email list if you are not eligible for this small business grant opportunity. In addition to that, they are looking for small business owners that sell products across beauty and wellness, and it is a plethora of categories. So skincare, cosmetics, hair care, scalp care, supplements, functional foods, beverages. So if you are in any of these categories, or you are partnering with a small business owner that is a part of these categories, you are potentially eligible to walk away with a $10,000 startup grant for your small business. And then once you fully peruse the website and look at all the things, you're going to click apply now. And then you're going to come back here, leave me a comment, let me know that you submitted a successful grant application, which is one of the goals of this channel. You're going to check out the workbook, the ebook, the Patreon, the small business grant playlist. I am going to beg that you do not leave money on the table for your small business. Of course, like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. But I am always grateful for the support that you are giving me on this YouTube journey. And I want to thank you. I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to spend with me virtually. I want to thank you for supporting the channel, and wherever you are in the world, I hope that you're having a beautiful day, and I will see y'all next time.